2022. We have the pleasure of our protocol event this morning, and we have two very important cases, which our focus today is going to be art. So for many years, I think more than 20, the Latino Art Beat has been recognizing and helping promote art in the city of Miami and in Miami-Dade County. Thanks to Don Rossi, which is here, and the many students that I think we have some of their art. Hopefully, do we have their art? Oh, we do, okay, thank you. Thank you. I can't see from over here, so thank you. So without much ado, I will introduce each of them, and I will mention their work, and I will then mention the award that they received. And I will ask the students that are here or their teacher to come up. I'll say this, I did have an opportunity, I don't know the ones that were presented, but after, I think I'm getting older because then I'm starting to recognize some of the art that I've seen in other parts of the world. So this is spectacular. So your students are doing a great job, and the teachers that are helping them are doing a great job. So in film and animation,
shall I just do the Latino Art Beat presentation?
after when I call them in. Film and animation, Sofia Afiles, she's from Doral Academy. Short film, We Are the Black Flowers. If she's here, she can come up, please. Come over. Thank you. Round of applause. Sofia, the easiest way is that way. Thank you. Richard Weber from Doral Academy, short film Noah's Rough Day, if he's here. Both of them received an honorable mention. And for Miami Best of Show is Esteban Rodriguez, also from Doral Academy, short film Slumber Symposium. If you're here, please come up, okay? In the art competition, which I think we have some of it presented on the bottom, is Valentina Martinez, honorable mention. Thank you. Her art is Te Invito a Tomar Unas Ricas. Anjimar, morning. Anjimar Sanchez, Latin Flavor, you can come up, please. Don will give you a... Allison Miranda, The Americas, from Booker T. Washington Senior High School. Come on, guys, we can do a lot better on the applauses here. A big crowd. Thank you. For second place, we have Kira Fernandez Nocito, Origen del Sol, Jose Marti Mass Academy. And for first place, we have Julia Carvajal, The Next Generation, from Miami Springs Senior High School. Excuse me? Yeah. Be able to see what we did. Thank you, Ron. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you. This is the way. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh. My pleasure. Good morning.
She's the winner.
You can use over there. We'll help with this. Don?
So, Julia.
Oh. Okay. Julia.
And do we have Julia?
Do we have? I think we have. Ladies, can I ask you to hold? So I know you're film, but we'll have to diversify today.
Let's put the medals on. You have your medals, okay?
Okay.
Good morning, I'm Don Rossi Nuccio, President of Latino Art Beat. This is now the 21st year that we're presenting scholarship awards and recognition to Miami area students. In our career here in Miami, by the way, we're a non-for-profit Miami corporation. We're also an Illinois corporation where we're headquartered. Up to date, I have proudly awarded over 5 million to talented students across the states. And I appreciate the applause, because sometimes I make presentations and then nobody applauses. And I'm going, $5.5 million, guys, that's worth at least a handshake or an applause. To date, Miami students have taken from us well over $1.5 million, and that's not including the students today that will be recognized. What I want to say is this program is not possible without local collaboration. So here in Miami, Mayor Sanchez and the commissioners always support and recognize these student winners every year here in City Hall. Equally, Miami-Dade County Public Schools. Is there anyone here from public schools? They're here in spirit. They help us organize the competition here. So without their help, it's just very, very difficult. Also, we need other local collaborators. This year, the Hyatt Regency Hotel and its manager, Amir, has proudly partnered with us to make sure that we have the proper accommodation, etc., and we're negotiating a long-term contract with them. So we want to give an applause to all the collaborators. I know the mayor is not here, but he's aware of this event. Please, un aplauso otra vez para los alumnos.
So I saw some of the teachers raising their hand. Are you? So can you come up, please? And any other teacher that is here, please come up. I think I saw another hand up. You better come up. Yes, yes, please, please, please. This wouldn't happen without you, so thank you, thank you. No applauses for the teachers, really, guys? And then, like with any good recipe, we need a good chef, and we wanted to take the opportunity to also recognize Don Rossi with a certificate of merit because of his more than 20 years in essentially leading this effort. So in recognition of his excellent service, the City of Miami issues a certificate of merit to Don Rossi. Thank you for your continued efforts to support the arts in our community, particularly our young artists and the future generations of artists. Don Rossi has diligently performed his duty as president of Latino Art Beat for over 20 years, which holds an annual art competition that awards scholarships and monetary prizes to its winners and celebrates these awards winning artists by holding various art gallery showings of their work throughout the year. Thank you for your service. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Come on, teacher. Oh, we got to get closer.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll let us know how close, how.
And one final word, let's thank the parents for encouraging these kids to art. Because
Would you like to recognize a principal?
Are they here? Of course.
Mr. Gonzalez is our principal, and he's here.
Mr. Gonzalez, if you're here, I think you've been spotted in the audience, so please come up so you can join us for the picture. Thank you.
Miami Springs.
I always wanted to be okay with a principal, so. Given that I was always a troublemaker.
And here's the president of the Hyatt Regency, or the general manager. He's coming up.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
There we go. That way everyone can fit.
Okay, we're doing the turn. Okay, this is not my
We
good.
gotta do something to
this-
fit everybody in.
Can we fit?
This is not my good
Más
slide.
cerca.
Should we turn it?
The other way. I'm okay with that.
Abdullah.
Is this his?
Photos.
Pictures?
Oh,
What's your name?
Where's Esteban? Film's here, right?
Okay, Esteban, you're going to come in between all these girls.
yes.
Your first place. Please put this on. else to be recognized. I don't know if this camera is wide enough.
Just one more, that's it.
We're not done yet. And then we'll invite everybody to go to the lobby, and I'll do some more photographs out there with the students.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the parents as well. Let me, who's the responsible recipient of this one? Well, I think you are.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Do you need to keep the list?
I don't need it, but
No.
I got it.
It's just less paper for me.
Yes, yes, you can meet at the lobby. My pleasure. Yes, yes, yes. So continuing with the theme of art, no, I do not. We wanted to recognize the City of Miami Symphony Orchestra. I know that we have its conductor, Eduardo Marturet. Please join us.
You're not in my contacts, my phone will ring, so text me.
Understood.
Add you.
Understood. Thank you. For those that have not had the pleasure to attend, buenas noches, buenos días, a symphony conducted by this fine gentleman, it is an amazing experience. You might think by hearing the word symphony orchestra that is a stuffy environment and that you might not appreciate it. It is completely the opposite. He finds a way to spice up every single performance. He has a way of communicating before he commences his what he does that is amazing. I remember the last one that I attended, he started with a Ukraine anthem, and it was a beautiful, touching moment. So I think you are an amazing asset. They're very lucky to have you. You're dedicated to your passion. You have to handle from the fundraising, from the presentation, from the music. It is truly not easy to do what you do. You do it in an effortless and flawless way with, I'm sure, with the support of your lovely wife, which is always important. So we want to recognize her. She's in the audience. So with that, the City of Miami wanted to issue the Certificate of Merit for MISO, the Miami Symphony Orchestra. They have recently received an Emmy Award for the movie La Reina del Sur Season 2, in which MISO recorded the music and soundtrack, which was conducted by Eduardo Marturet. The award was in the International Emmy Awards 2020 category, and we're confident that you will continue to excel and serve in our community with distinction and contribute to the City of Miami. I know that they've opened up their maybe 35th or 36th season, and we want to make sure that you have an opportunity to hear about their upcoming events. So I'll pass it on to our conductor and ask him to introduce himself and to please tell us the new dates, because I think if you're here, you should attend. They're beautiful, they're wonderful, and you have a good time. And if not, you can blame me that you...
I want to echo what he's saying. I've had the honor and the privilege to have Miami's official orchestra perform in parks in District 5. He performed at Williams Park, Overtown, and he performed at Charles Hadley's Park in Liberty City, and it was wonderful, and the turnout was wonderful. And I look forward to the Miami Symphony performing in all of the parks in District 5 and in the city as well, particularly at the Virginia Key Beach.
Thank you, Commissioner King, Commissioner Russell. Well, we are so honored, Eddie, for this Certificate of Merit. Since you proclaim in this very pleased. As the official symphony orchestra of the city of Miami, it's been such a special time for us. The energy has risen to the top, and we cannot be more energized and happier to work all along with you guys. This Saturday, we celebrate Halloween at Peacock Park. We have a big surprise for you regarding our fabulous repertoire on the subject. And wow, this Meredith just gave us this, I can't thank enough, to the Mayor Suarez, the commissioners who proclaimed the orchestra, the city manager, and of course, all the residents of this fabulous city. We're so proud to be the official symphony orchestra of the city of Miami. Thank you so much.
Sure, I'll be very brief. My experience with you has been incredible. As you know, as District 2 Commissioner, I'm also the chairman of the Business Improvement District of Coconut Grove. And we're famous for funding street festivals and musical events, but during the pandemic, we took all that funding and put it into an emergency relief fund for our local businesses. And so, because of the pandemic, we stopped the musical events. As soon as we were able to physically get back together, we signed a contract with MISO for 4 concerts that first year, and it was such an amazing rejuvenation of the community, getting everyone back together, and we love to continue it with you, so we look forward to many more. Thank you so much. Picture?
Yes.
Please.
October 27, 2022 City of Miami Commission in these historic chambers. At this time, I'm going to ask Pastor Hunter to lead us in prayer, and he is from the historic Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church, and I think that we all agree that this meeting will be fruitful if we begin with prayer. Pastor Hunter?
Good morning. Let us pray. Eternal God, our Father, we pause now to say thank you. Thank you for this day that you have made, a day that we could rejoice and be glad in. Thank you, Lord, for allowing us to rest last night and allowing us to rise again today. Thank you, Father, for this opportunity to come before your people and before your presence. Father, I pray in the name of Jesus that you would now come dwell amongst us as we invoke your presence, that you may fill this hallowed chamber with your presence, that we may know that you are here with us and that we are with you. Father, bless these proceedings that are to take place. Bless the citizens of this great city. Bless these who have been charged with the order of governing. We pray, Lord, that they might have the wisdom of you as they make these decisions for this city. Pray that they would have the courage to stand and to do the things that are right and righteous. Pray, Lord God, that when it's all said and done, that we will be reminded that we are all your children. And so, Father, as we go, we believe that you are going to move in a way that will bless us all. This is our prayer. We pray it in your name. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor. And at this time, Commissioner Reyes, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you. Madam City Attorney.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Detailed information about the processes, order of business, rules of procedure, and scheduling or rescheduling of City Commission meetings can be found in Chapter 2, Article 2 of the City Code. A copy is available online at www.municode.com. Any person who is a lobbyist pursuant to Chapter 2, Article 6 of the City Code must register with the City Clerk and comply with the related city requirements for lobbyists before appearing before the City Commission. A person may not lobby a city official, board member, or staff member until registering. A copy of the code section about lobbyists is available in the City Clerk's office or online at www.municode.com. Any person making a presentation, formal request, or petition to the City Commission concerning real property must make the appropriate disclosure required by the City Code in writing. A copy of this code section is available at the office of the City Clerk or online at www.municode.com. The City of Miami requires that anyone requesting action by the City Commission must disclose before the hearing any consideration provided or committed to anyone for agreement to support or withhold objection to the requested action pursuant to City Code Section 2-8. Any documents offered to the City Commission that have not been provided 7 days before the meeting as part of the agenda materials will be entered into the record at the City Commission's discretion. In accordance with Section 233F and G of the City Code, the agenda and material for each item on the agenda is available during business hours at the City Clerk's office and online, 24 hours a day at www.miamigov.com. Any person may be heard by the City Commission through the chair for not more than 2 minutes on any proposition before the City Commission unless modified by the chair. Public comment will begin at approximately 10:15 and remain open until public comment is closed by the chair. Members of the public wishing to address the body may do so by submitting written comments via the online comment form. Please visit www.miamigov.com/meeting instructions for detailed instructions on how to provide public comment using the online public comment form. The comments submitted through the comment form have been and will be distributed to elected officials and city administration throughout the day so that the elected officials may consider the comments prior to taking any action. Additionally, the online comment form will remain open during the meeting to accept comments and distribute to elected officials up until the chair closes public comment. Public comment may also be provided live at City Hall, located at 3500 Pan American Drive, subject to any and all rules as may be amended. If a proposition is being continued or rescheduled, the opportunity to be heard may be at such later date before the City Commission takes action on the proposition. When addressing the City Commission, the member of the public must first state their name, their address, and what item will be spoken about. Any person with disability requiring assistance, auxiliary aids, and services for this meeting may notify the city clerk. The city has provided different public comment methods to indicate, among other things, the public support, opposition, or neutrality on items and topics to be discussed at the City Commission meeting in accordance to Section 286.0114, 4C, Florida statutes. The public has been given the opportunity to provide public comment during the meeting and within reasonable proximity and time before the meeting. Please note, commissioners have generally been briefed by city staff and the city attorney on items on the agenda today. Anyone wishing a verbatim record of the item considered at this meeting may request it at the Office of Communications or viewed online at www.miamigov.com. PZ items shall proceed according to Section 7.1.4 of the Miami 21 zoning ordinance and is temporarily modified pursuant to emergency ordinance numbers 13903 and 13914. Parties for any PZ items, including any applicant, appellant, appellee, city staff, and any person qualified by a decision-making body as a qualified intervener, as well as applicants' representatives and any experts testifying on behalf of the applicant, appellee, or appellant, may either physically be present at City Hall to be sworn in by oath or affirmation by the city clerk, or may appear virtually and make arrangements to be sworn in by oath or affirmation in person at their location by an individual qualified to perform such duty. Pursuant to emergency ordinance number 13903, members of the general public who are not parties to an action pending before the City Commission are not required to be sworn in by oath or affirmation. The members of the City Commission shall disclose any ex parte communications pursuant to Florida Statute 286.0115 and Section 7.1.45 of the Miami 21 zoning ordinance. The order of presentation shall be as set forth in Miami 21 and in the City Code. Staff will briefly present each item to be heard. The applicant will present its application or request to the City Commission. If the applicant agrees with the staff recommendation, the City Commission may proceed to its deliberation and decision. The applicant may also waive the right to an evidentiary hearing on the record. For appeals, the appellant will present its appeal to the City Commission, followed by the appellee. Staff will be allowed to make any recommendation they may have. Please silence any and all cell phones and other noise-making devices. This meeting can be viewed live on Miami TV, the city's Facebook page, the city's Twitter page, the city's YouTube channel, and Comcast Channel 77. The broadcast will also have closed captioning. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam City Attorney. Mr. City Clerk, would you read your statement?
Thank you, Chair. The procedures for individuals providing testimony will be sworn in for planning and zoning items, and any quasi-judicial items on today's City Commission agenda will be as follows. The members of the city staff or any other individuals required to be sworn in who are currently present at City Hall will be sworn in by me, the city clerk, immediately after I finish explaining these procedures. Those individuals who are appearing remotely may be sworn in now or at any time prior to the individual providing testimony for planning and zoning items and or quasi-judicial items. Pursuant to emergency ordinance number 13903, those individuals appearing remotely may be sworn in at their location by an individual qualified to administer the oath. After you're sworn in, please be sure to complete, sign, and notarize the affidavit provided to you by the City Attorney's Office. Each individual who will provide testimony must be sworn in and execute an affidavit. Please email a scanned version of the signed affidavit to the City Clerk at thannon@miamigov.com prior to providing testimony on the planning and zoning item and or quasi-judicial item. The affidavit shall be included in the record for the relevant item for which you'll be providing testimony. Commissioners, are you comfortable with all the notice provisions set forth in these uniform rules and procedures we have established for this meeting?
Yes.
Yes,
Chair may administer the oath for the planning and zoning items.
please.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. If we'll be speaking on any of today's planning and zoning items, may I please have you stand and raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And your response is? Yes. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Mr. Manager, do you have any items that need to be pulled, withdrawn, or deferred?
Good morning, Madam Chairwoman, Commissioners, Madam City Attorney, and Mr. City Clerk. At this time, the administration would like to defer and/or withdraw the following items. CA4 to be withdrawn. RE2 to be deferred to the November 17th meeting. RE4 to be deferred to the November 17th meeting. And SR3 to be deferred to the 11/17 meeting. And then on the PZ agenda, PZ1 to be withdrawn. That concludes the items.
At this time, I will check with my colleagues. Commissioner?
RE4, we still have to have some conversations about that manager. I know we had him last commission meeting. We've been having him for about, I think, 2.5 years now, right, since I got here at least and before. So I want to have an opportunity to sit down and talk to you between now and then, and maybe probably, if we want to, we can defer it. So I would take RE4 out of the equation for now.
It's deferred. Okay.
No, not deferred.
You want,
Out of the deferral list,
so that we can hear it as a
Yes.
discussion item.
yes.
Mr. Manager?
No.
Okay.
And you too, Annie.
Vice Chair, do you have any items? None. Commissioner Russell?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd just like to be noted as a co-sponsor for PZ10, please, on the Lotus House item.
PC10, Lotus House item.
And Madam Chairwoman, is it the appropriate time now to defer some items, PZ items that we want to also?
We could.
Okay, I would like to defer PZ 2, 3, and 4. These are the medical marijuana dispensary items until we have
These-
further conversations on this.
PZ5 is also a medical marijuana item.
It's
PZ
PC2, 3, 4, and 5.
2, 3, 4, and 5, correct.
Okay.
Like
And Commissioner Diaz-Sobertia, to which meeting would you like to defer those items?
we'll play it meeting by meeting, the next meeting, November 17th.
Understood.
Commissioner Reyes?
Madam Chair, I'm fine.
Okay. At this time, we're going to open up the floor.
Chair, is there a motion on the?
Oh, may I have a motion?
Move it.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. At this time, we are going to open the floor for public comment. And let me first advise that you are to speak on what's on the agenda only what is on the agenda, you are welcome to speak on. If it's not on the agenda, we are not having discussion about that.
Chair, I am going to ask the administration to bring to the next meeting an item that will limit how many minutes someone can acquire from additional people that might be here. I've seen things in past meetings that groups of individuals don't even live in their city come, and they're just there. They've been brought in by someone so that they can stand and give them minutes, and it becomes never-ending meetings and not fair to regular residents that do live in the city and are abiding by our rules and procedures. So I'm going to bring something to the commission for the next meeting on that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Chairwoman Joseph Zaralman, Fire Chief, Department of Fire Rescue. If I may request, there's no need for everybody that is making public comment to stand and form a line. You only came from the seats that are here for you. So if I could ask that we limit it to maybe 5 people standing at a time, have everybody else wait in their seats, and as these people finish speaking, they can exit, and we are allowing 1 for 1 to come in to give everybody the opportunity to speak.
We do have a packed house today, which is so wonderful. So yes, we'll take that recommendation, 5 up at a time. For safety purposes, must listen to our fire chief.
There's more than 5 over there, I think. Yeah, just sit down and.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Madam Chairman and Vice Chairman and Commissioners. My name is Clifford Mermel. I'm a resident of Miami for 59 years, and this is my first time ever complaining about something that has happened in our neighborhood. I'm here with my neighbors, Michael Guay, Diana Monaco, and Caterina Atspantelli. We all live on East Glencoe Street, and our complaint is that we are complaining about the violent destruction of a forest of 68 majestic pine trees that provided a beautiful and natural buffer between our neighborhood and a large, ugly building behind our homes. This destruction of this beautiful forest has destroyed our peace, our privacy, the natural beauty of our, and the value of our homes. We are asking that the owner of the property be required to plant at least 68 native trees, such as live oaks or palms, to replace and revive the natural buffer that existed between our properties for over 80 years and that induced us to buy our homes. These beautiful pine trees that were violently massacred averaged 150 feet in height, and they had been there for 80 years. They were cut down without a permit, without any notice to us, and without any notice to the public, and without any real valid justification. The before and after pictures are very dramatic. Before, from our homes, you would gaze upon a forest, and you couldn't even see our neighbors. Now, all you can see is a glaring building with 100 balconies staring directly into our backyards, into our privacy, and destroying our privacy and the value of our homes. By the way,
Madam Chair?
Madam Chair,
Madam Chair, this item's not on the agenda, but I'd just like to ask you to meet with my Chief of Staff in the District 2 office, if you would, and we'll be happy to talk with you about it.
Yeah, and I was going to offer my staff as well. We can probably sidebar.
this is on the agenda, PZ6.
Oh, I'm sorry.
PZ6, it's relating to PZ6. We were informed that the reason for the destruction of this forest was for the building of PZ6. We have recently learned that the possibility is that PZ6 is not going where we thought it was going, but then why are they destroying this forest? That's the whole point.
We, to
So
recommend
if
to
you,
the
if
District
you
2
will
Commissioner.
step to the side and Commissioner Russell's staff persons will speak to you about that,
Okay.
this issue, and the manager's office will as well. Thank you.
I don't think he's the first time that he comes here, Madam Chairwoman, so maybe you tell him what that means.
No, Commissioner Russell's
You can
staff
talk
is
to
going to come
Commissioner
and get you.
Russell's staff and to our manager, and maybe we can defer the item and so we'll figure it out. We'll just go over there and set up a meeting. That guy
Yes.
right there.
Yeah.
That's the city manager
Yeah,
right
if
there.
I could also ask all of you, if you do not get any satisfaction to this problem, please come back here.
Yeah.
I'm amazed that someone could cut so many trees
Me too.
that size,
Without any,
and, you know, nobody saw anything from the city.
yeah, I know what it is.
Sorry, sir, if you're going to be making any comments, we need it on the record.
Right, oh, so,
Yeah,
so just step
go
over there
and-
and they'll.
I think the best thing to do is try to defer the item and just give them opportunity to have conversations, if you're okay with that. So I move to defer the item, PZ6.
Second, all in favor?
Aye, to the November meeting, please.
To the
November
November
17th.
meeting. PZ6 has been deferred to the November meeting.
Maybe they didn't hear it, sir.
Sir?
We're deferring the item to the next meeting
Next meeting.
until you try to resolve this with the administration.
We're not going to vote on it today, in
Yeah.
other words. That's what that means. We're not voting on it today, but you have to have your meetings between now and November 17th with the commissioner from your district and with our city manager to try to resolve the matter. But I agree with Commissioner Carollo. I think you have good people listening to you, okay? So all of you, all right?
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Range.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the Commission. Patrick Range with offices at 5727 Northwest 17th Avenue. I'm here to address the Commission today on item RE12. And I first want to thank the city manager for presenting an opportunity for myself and a number of other persons who are also here in favor of the Virginia Key Beach Park Trust to have the opportunity to come back before this commission with a discussion item to further discuss that matter. So I want to thank him for that opportunity and say on the record that we will be taking him up on that opportunity. As it relates to RE12, I just want to say kudos to Commissioner Carollo for this item. Not so much that I'm in support of it, but it just demonstrates his passion for parks in his city. This item proposes to award or to reallocate $950,000 in tree trust funds previously allocated to the building department, giving it over to the Bayfront Park Management Trust. Fantastic. This is the type of energy that we need for Virginia Key Beach Park Trust. So I just want to say, that's great that you get $950,000 going over there. It'd be great to get some of that going over to Virginia Key Beach Park, for things that we have going on there. I also just wanted to remind Commissioner Carollo that at the time that the Ultra monies were given out to the Bayfront Park Trust to the tune of $1 million, when that was transferred from the Virginia Key Beach Park Trust, you promised on the record that you would find some monies to replace those monies that were designated for Virginia Key Beach Park Trust, and the community is still waiting for you to hold good on that promise. You all did not address any of my comments or concerns at the last commission meeting, and as I told you, we will be here. We're going to see this thing through, and we're determined to do that, and we'll look forward to being back before you for further discussion. We just say that this is wrong. You have the right to go back and correct your wrong and reinstate this trust and have us work with you because we know it's you that have been the reason that this has not moved forward.
Thank you.
Okay. Madam Chair.
Please don't make any outbursts. I don't want to have to clear the room because I'd like to hear from everyone. So please do not make any outbursts. And please keep your comments to what is on the agenda. Mr. Range, your time is up.
I thought Commissioner
No, we're not doing that. Good morning, Mr. Jones. How are you today?
I'm fine, Madam Chair. Good morning. And to you all commissioners, I am Leroy Jones, the lead organizer for the Circle of Brotherhood, address 5120 Northwest 24th Avenue. I'm here in support of restoring the Virginia Key Beach Trust. First,
Mr. Jones,
I'm here for
that
PG,
is not,
PH item 5, PH item 5.
Yes.
PH item 5.
I am in support of that and sponsoring it.
Hold on. This is what it says. It says to not to exceed $1 million. Now, the mayor of Miami called us here, said that he was awarding the Circle of Brotherhood some funding because of the work that we've been doing in the community. When we got here, he unveiled a check for $1 million. It was all on his social media. It was all in the newspaper. In fact, even to this day, people still think we got this money. They think we got the money. Now we get an email from the budget office saying it's $250,000. One time a commissioner called me ungrateful because I had the audacity to ask for a little more money. I was ungrateful because I wanted a little more money to serve my community. I was ungrateful. So maybe you might call me ungrateful again today. The mayor promised us $1 million. We want $1 million. We're not taking $250,000. So if $250,000 is on the agenda for us to take it, we don't want it. We are not going to take less than what we are worth anymore in the black community. We're not taking $200,000. The budget department sent me an email saying it's not $1 million anymore. It's $250,000. We don't want the $250,000. We're not trading anything for $250,000. We're not trading who we are. The brotherhood, you know what? We ain't bowing down.
Thank you.
We are not. Thank you.
Thank you. That you do not disrespect the protocol of the chamber. If you clap again, I will clear the chambers. Because that is the protocol. Yes, wow. You are here. Please be respectful of the rules of this chamber. If you don't want me to clear the chamber, please be respectful of the protocol of the chamber. Thank you. Commissioner Reyes, you wanted to say, I don't want to keep interrupting.
No, the only thing that I wanted to do, the gentleman is right. During the press conference, he was promised $1 million. I was there. You see, and we have to keep our promises. You see, and that's the only thing.
We have to speak to the mayor about that.
Absolutely, and what I believe is that they made the statements clear. We are not going to accept 250. I believe that we should defer this until it is clarified that $1 million is what it was promised, and $1 million is what they will receive. Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Let me.
Thank you. Ma'am, good morning.
Good morning to the committee. My name is Rose Fountain, and I live in Coconut Grove Village West. Coconut Grove and Coconut Grove Village West is important in my life. So I'm here because of the African American Heritage Trust. Yeah, I could talk a lot about the minority communities. I could talk about the island aspect.
What item are you speaking on for the agenda?
Well, I haven't actually looked at the agenda, but I'm here for the African American Trust.
It's not on the agenda. You're free to speak on anything that's on the agenda, but that's not on the agenda.
Okay, well, can I voice my opinion on the zoning of what is occurring with that?
There's no item that's occurring for that on this agenda.
Okay. Are we talking planning and zoning? Are we talking trust? What are we talking? Nothing is on the agenda?
Not for what you're speaking on. Not for what you're speaking on, not today. It was on the
Okay,
past
but
two agendas.
this would come under planning and zoning.
No, but it's not a planning and zoning item. It has to be an item that's before this body right now, and it's
Okay,
not.
well, I don't understand why we cannot,
Because it's not
speak on this topic.
I'm gonna have someone from staff.
Thank you.
speak
That's
to
what
you
I
about
need.
that.
That's
Yes.
what I need to
Okay,
know.
thank you. Mr. Manager, can you? Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I wish to speak on ordinance 1221 favor in support. My name is Morton Ehrlich. I reside at 1000 Venetian, and I'm president of our condo association. At 1000 Venetian, we are regularly abused by the uncontrolled noise from Jungle Island. It has absolutely devastated our quality of life on an ongoing basis. We've made hundreds of calls to the appropriate authorities, only to be told that the city-leased Watson Island property was noise control exempt. But we're just one of so many other properties around the city experiencing exactly the same abuse. Can you imagine how you would react if you lived near one of these noise control exempt properties? Just think about that. And you know that Key Biscayne, North Miami, and Miami Beach don't have an existing noise exemption on city leased land. So why in the world must we in Miami? This is where we live. This is our home. Your unanimous support on the first reading of ordinance 12215 makes it obvious that you recognize that our city has changed since the existing Chapter 36 noise ordinance was first written into the law. I did some research on this, and I believe it was 1967. That's 55 years ago. And as time passes, the disruption of an established quality of life for so many more people is quite serious, is rapidly deteriorating, and must be addressed. Well, here again, given your unanimous vote at the first reading of 12215, you also recognize that as our population shifts, especially in our urban cores, Miami would be in sync with our surrounding communities, as well as with our collective reevaluation of our ever-evolving quality of life. I urge each of you to vote yes to approve ordinance 12215.
Thank you. Mr. Channer, welcome to the city of Miami.
Thank you, Chair. Baron Channer. Clearly, the chair is aware of who I am. Commissioners, pleasure to be before you. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm here to speak on item RE12. I also happen to be a supporter of the Restore Virginia Key Beach Trust campaign. Commissioner Carollo, I applaud you on this item. I've, on many occasions, disagreed with items that you have brought to fore, but I've never questioned the commitment and love you had for Miami, and I have admired and at times envied the extent to which you represented your culture, Cuban-American culture, while embracing all of Miami. As a Jamaican-American that was embraced by Black Miami, I've often looked to do the same and represent the same, certainly not as ably as you. And that's part of the reason why I'm here to support this item, because in my disappointment in regards to what I, as a Black man, believe to be betrayal of the Black community in regards to what was done with the Virginia Key Beach Trust, I am here to support what you are doing, because it's important for me as a citizen of this state, as a resident of this community, as a businessman operating in Miami, to look to have our culture represented. Black culture is not looking to replace any other culture. We are simply looking to have our culture embraced.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll
Good
see you
morning.
again next meeting.
Good morning. How are you?
Hi, my name is Deborah Arditi, and I also reside in 1000 Venetian Way. The number is 12215, and I'm not gonna speak. I'm just gonna show you a recording that I did on Tuesday at 11 p.m. So I'm gonna play it over and over during the 2 minutes and just ask you, how would you feel? If this is what you hear 5 times a week in your bedroom. So I hope that when you vote, you keep this music in your minds and ask yourself, is this fair? Because people can have fun and not make other people absolutely miserable. Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Amy Clement, and I'm a professor of atmospheric science at the University of Miami, vice chair of the City of Miami's Climate Resilience Committee, and resident of Coconut Grove. I'd like to ask your support for Resolution 9. This resolution comes from the Climate Resilience Committee with support from the chair of the Miami Forever Bond Oversight Board. This resolution would have the city manager adopt a policy to consider multiple benefits in the design of stormwater management and flood mitigation. Stormwater infrastructure is an opportunity for our city in preparation for future climate hazards, to be a leader. Instead of focusing solely on a single problem to solve, stormwater, the city could address heat mitigation, heat and stormwater monitoring, greenhouse gas reduction, and future mobility all in one project, all of which would benefit the people that live here. This policy would affirm the city's commitment to being an innovative leader on climate resilience, and it would make our city more competitive for billions of federal dollars that are available to prepare for cities for ongoing and coming effects of climate change. I'll be available later when the item comes up if you need any more information. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners. My name is Ken Gordon. I live at 950 North Venetian Drive. I've lived there for almost 30 years. I'm also president of the Venetian Way Neighborhood Alliance, which represents the residents on 6 islands of the Venetian Causeway. As you know, the Venetian Causeway is listed in the National Register of Historic Places in 1989 and keeps that status. I was going to originally speak of the horrors that we have experienced from our neighborhood attraction. However, I thought this morning I would kind of change that around and just simply speak to the good. We appreciate your support on first reading, unanimous support. We ask you for unanimous support of the same ordinance again today. I think you heard the music. The music speaks louder than words. And believe me, I can hear that in my home also. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Marva Lightbourne. My address is 5561 Northwest 7th Court in the beautiful city of Miami. And to my great ancestors, one of the incorporators for the city of Miami in 1896, A.C. Lightbourne. I'm speaking because his spirit told me to come and speak out, especially on Virginia Key. I don't know, I want to be in order. Now, are we talking about that now?
No, we're not, ma'am.
We're going to be talking about it later?
Not later, not in this meeting. It may come up as a discussion item in another meeting, but it will not be, we are not discussing it at this meeting today.
Okay, because I just want to iterate that people are very upset in the Liberty City. I belong to several organizations, Homeowners Association, AARP, and the people want to know what is happening, and they are not pleased with this. And Commissioner King, they love you dearly. And I heard the word, quote, and I'm sure you did, recall. Okay, I'm not for that, but I'm just saying, we need to have justice for this. This is not right for us.
You know, I have made a couple of statements. I'll address it since you said I've made a couple of statements about it. I chose to stay silent until all of it settled. The mayor didn't veto the item.
Right.
So it's done now. I think there's some misinformation that has been disseminated to the community. We did go and speak to the seniors at Hadley Park, and they do understand, and I will continue to disseminate the facts, because I don't need anyone to be on my side. I just want everyone to have the facts of what's going on. And at some point, when it's all said and done, I'd ask, what is most important? Getting the project done or fighting about who's getting it done? So we can talk about that later. I'm open to discussion for it. I saw Terry Williams here, who is the president of One United Bank, the only black bank in Miami, and I would ask her to help fund the project, put her money where her mouth is, because, you know, someone got up and said, we're going to need this amount of money and we're going to need that amount of money. And the fact of the matter is, it has been 18 years since the voters of Miami voted for this project, and nothing has been done toward getting that historic museum built. And it is my intention to move that along. So I welcome the dialogue later, but it's not on the agenda before us today. And I'll see you again soon.
All right. Thank you very much for clarifying that up.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Commissioners, good morning. I'm here today to humbly ask your support for PH6. Commissioner Russell, thank you for this item. This initiative is with a partnership with Congresswoman Frederica Wilson's vision for a Bahamian Art and Cultural Center.
Ms. Williams, where are you going? Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
Where was I? This will be a signature welcome and entrance to the south end of the North Grove target area. The bottom line is that this project will provide 28 units of housing for, your funding will support 28 units of housing for our community residents. It will also, I kind of got rattled when you stopped me there. But the availability of housing is crucial for our community. So I'm asking your unanimous support for this item. Again, thank you, Commissioner Russell, for... Continue? Okay. So I just wanted to ask your unanimous support for this item. It is crucial for our West Grove residents to have a place called home. A long time coming. Thank you.
Chair, if I could just have the speaker's name for the record?
Thank you.
Ma'am? Just your name for the record?
Oh, Merlene Barton, Thelma Gibson Health Initiative, 3640 Grand Avenue.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. My name is James Valsaint, signed up to speak on agenda item 12, but I'm here to speak on the way y'all been doing these boards, which is kind of crazy. The Virginia Key Trust Board, the way it was completed.
Sir,
Please don't interrupt me when I'm speaking. You're very rude.
Good morning, Mr. Gordon Knowles. How are you today?
Commissioner King, I am wonderful.
And how is the chamber?
Chamber's doing great, thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. I'm here to speak on 3 items. RE 12, and I want to thank Commissioner Carollo for his insight and foresight to do what is right for our community. The next item that I will speak out about is PH 5, and I alone support my brother Leroy Jones. I am a member of the Circle of Brotherhood, and we will not stand and accept $250,000. As Commissioner Reyes said, the Brotherhood was promised $1 million by the mayor. The last thing that I'll speak on is PH 6. I started my career in Coconut Grove when it was a thriving black community. When there was, as we called it, I worked for the Coconut Grove Local Development Corporation. That's how I honed my career. And we called it the hole in the donut. The donut being the outside and the rest of the grove. And the devastation that has taken place, the gentrification, and everything that it continues to take place, you ride along Grand Avenue, and you see the devastation, all the buildings that have been torn down. You see the multi-million-dollar homes being built and black community being displaced. I ask that you support this item. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Pedro Milian Jr. I reside at 8430 Southwest 155th Terrace, and I'm here on item RE10, the naming of a street after my late father. And I want to thank Commissioner Reyes for sponsoring this, Commissioner Russell for co-sponsoring it, and to the entire Miami Commission and staff, thank you very much for this opportunity. My family and I want to thank the Commission for consideration in memorializing Southwest 25th Street for my late father, Pedro Milian. Our family considers this not just an honor for my father, but for a generation of citizens who are grateful for a country and a community that embraced them during some very challenging times in our world. My father was a very proud Miamian and American. From his early days as an entrepreneur to becoming a sports broadcaster, his passion for the cause of freedom, his love of family, and countless friends, my father left his mark in our community. If he were here today, he would be humbled by this kind gesture, but only accept it as representing the hard work, sacrifice, and love of community by so many who have called Miami home. Thank you for this great honor.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, can we vote on this so that it has to be?
We can, if you'd like to vote
Yes,
on it now.
I will move RE10.
Chair, just in case is there anyone else here to speak
On RE10,
No, my cousin Natalie Milian is in the audience, and she's joining me. Thank you. And a lot of family watching.
so I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Padrito. Cuídate.
Good morning, Chairwoman,
Good morning.
Commissioners. James Torres, President of the DNA.
at 253 Northeast 2nd Street, downtown Miami. We'd like to discuss briefly RE4 and FR3, which is the scooter program. We're kindly asking, to echo the words of Alex de Portilla at the time, to scrap the RFP program and to start back from zero, if that's possible. I know that's been debated for the last 2 years. If the pilot program is to continue, again, to limit the number of scooters throughout the district, which is impeded worse than any of the other districts. The next item is SR2 as it relates to the noise ordinance. The DNA had to walk a fine line with this because it's important as it relates to the residents as well as businesses as well. But the overwhelming response has been community comes first. So we kindly ask that we move forward with SR2, the noise ordinance, because I'm sure the chief of police is tired of receiving the phone calls, the code enforcement as well. We do know that there's a growing population throughout the district. We did reach out to the Venetian Causeway. They reached out to us as well to kind of put something together, and we've gained a lot of traction, but now we need the definitive support of the commissioners to get a unanimous position to support this item. Thank you very much. And you're all invited to the Halloween party in downtown Miami, don't forget. Thank you. Happy Halloween.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, commissioners and staff. My name is Albert Gomez, 3566 Vista Court. I'm in support of several items here. PH6, the Thelma Gibson Initiative. We have a living legend walking up to the podium right now. We need to honor her in any way possible. Absolutely. She's done so much for the diaspora, Bahamian diaspora down here, and she is our founding grandmother. PH7, St. Paul, another strong institution helping the Bahamas recover. They worked hand in hand with our organization, and really they just went beyond the call. We need to support these groups. RE9, Amy Clement brought this comment up. This is a huge cash windfall for the city if we pass this item. Right now, the Army Corps is having discussions on nature-based solutions and having a charrette on November 14th around nature-based solutions, where Miami-Dade County fought for this. The city of Miami aligned with this. We should pass this with flying colors right now. It will open up a windfall of money for the city. Tree Trust Fund, Commissioner Carollo, this is how you honor Maurice Ferre. Thank you so much. This is really stepping up, and I really appreciate it for his legacy, for his family. I don't think any of his family is here. They honor you for these types of initiatives. Please bring more of them.
Can I just make a quick statement? The end of November, every Miami resident should go to Maurice Ferre Park, because you're going to find the most beautiful garden over 2 long city blocks by 60 feet wide of the most beautiful sculpture garden anywhere in South Florida. If I may quote Maurice Ferre, that when I was a very young commissioner, learning from him as mayor, he would talk about Tivoli Gardens up in Europe. Well, we're going to have our own Tivoli Gardens here in Miami, and it's well on its way. We have it maybe 85% finished now with all the plans. I think we bought half of Homestead in the Redlands. Thousands upon thousands of bushes, just one truckload alone of flowers to plant. It's over 6,000, hundreds of trees, and it's going to be something that every Miamian can enjoy, bring their families. You should see all the butterflies that are there now, and from hummingbirds to every kind of bird that's there. So please, at the end of November, when it's finally going to be finished, please come and see it, because it'll be your garden. Maurice Ferre Park and Bayfront Park are the central parks of Miami. They're your central park.
Yep. Thank you so much. Again, and then, can I finish my quick statements? Okay. Micromobility is here to stay. FR3 is, let's support it. The BC4, you have youth membership coming up on the boards. We've assembled a bunch of youth groups that are willing to step up and put members forward for these youth memberships on boards. I'd like to work with all of you to really see if we can place some youth members now, quickly. We need that representation on boards. And then the PZ1, it's another opportunity, so please
Thank
support
you.
it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Can I make
you. No, thank you.
SR4?
Thank you.
Please.
Good morning, Ms.
Let me
Gibson.
say good morning. I'm Thelma Anderson Gibson from 3661 Franklin Avenue in Coconut Grove. And I'm here this morning to speak about the resolution that's on the agenda by our Commissioner Russell for our community to get some money, the Little Bahamas community. But let me say good morning to the residents as well. And I want everybody here to know that Mrs. Burley Barton founded the Thelma Gibson Health Initiative 22 years ago. And when I heard our commissioner say he had money that he wanted to come into our community, I said, oh my goodness, I'd better talk to somebody. So I called his staff and I said, you know, we are so grateful. First, they gave us the name of Little Bahamas a couple of months ago, and then they passed some other things in our favor. And I'm here because I want to thank our city manager, our commissioners, our city clerk and his staff, and all the people who looked at this resolution and gave their approval. But you know, I always say that we can't ever want everything, so we have to look out for the churches in our community. And I like for everybody to know that I always talk about the first 3 churches in Coconut Grove founded by Black people. We were colored back then. Macedonia Baptist Church was the first church, and that's been back in 18. And it just happens that my grandmother's sister was married to the first minister of that church. And so I like to talk about that. And then St. Paul AME Church was the second church for colored that was founded on Charles Avenue, in the 3300 block of Charles Avenue, where Miss Brewster's house stands today, is where St. Paul Church was. And their parsonage was next to it, next to the Bunyan House. And then in 1901, Christ Episcopal Church was founded on Charles Avenue, in the 3300 block of Charles Avenue. It's so amazing because back then it was called Evangelist Street. And so many people don't know about that history. And this is why I like to be able to take my time and not hold up the line so long and not try to be the first one to speak, because I like to tell a little bit of the history so that people understand why it is that we need the money. And we're so happy that you're thinking about Little Bahamas in the way that you are with giving this money. And so when I heard this, I said, well, you know, you got to give St. Paul and Macedonia and Christ Church, along with the Thelma Gibson Health Initiative. Now, I think everybody knows that Thelma Gibson Health Initiative, in the 22 years, I did not found it. As I said, Ms. Barton and Ms. Cherry founded it. They wanted to clean up the streets of Grand Avenue with drug addicts walking all down the street. And they were able to do that. And, you know, I get credit for all this, but I wasn't out there doing it. I just try to stay in the background and listen to the phone calls and try to answer questions for everybody. But I'm just so proud that you're willing to support this item this morning, because it's important to our community. St. Paul has really been working on the houses that they have and having them more affordable and getting them fixed up and do more housing for our people. The Health Initiative wants to do a complex on Grand Avenue where, as all of you know, our commissioner, Congresswoman, she doesn't even represent this area. But Frederica Wilson, Congresswoman Wilson, is giving us money to do a museum in memory of her grandmother and who came here from the Bahamas. And so we're going to have that museum in this complex, along with some housing to house the people in Coconut Grove that need it. We need to think about other churches like the Believers of Christ, and I always want to feel the Urban League because they're coming in. When we heard from your staff that there were 20% of the vacant land in Coconut Grove belong to the churches. It's when we felt that the churches should be doing something. And this is why, and the Health Initiative wants to be one of the leaders on doing this. And so I'm only here to say thank you to everybody who has helped to get this passed, Mr. City Manager and everybody else. I want you to know how grateful we are. And this community has apparently accepted the fact, because we didn't have anybody here opposing us this morning. You know, the miracle is I like to hear both sides before I say anything. So, Mr. Mayor, my commissioner, my commissioners, my new manager, Commissioner DiPatilio, who's not here, I want you to know, too, I know you're listening in your office, so I just want you to know that we are so grateful that you are thinking in terms of letting us have this money. It's to go to Thelma Gibson Health Initiative, St. Paul AME Church, and hopefully Macedonia and Christ Church will get some portion along the way.
Thank you. Commissioner Russell, would you like to take this item up now?
I'll move it.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Any other comments? Public comment?
Any other public comments on this item, PH 6? Please come forward. PH 6.
That's it.
Thelma, you got it?
Oh.
Thank you. You got it, Thelma.
Thank you much.
Could we do 6 and 7 together? She spoke on both.
Well, after he speaks, we'll take up 7.
Hi, good morning.
Good
My
morning.
My name is Terrence Cribbs Laurent, 480 Northwest 11th. Work with the City of Miami Black Police Precinct Courthouse Museum. For those that don't know, much of my initial work coming to Miami through Florida International University happened in the Coconut Grove area. It was very important to me because St. Paul was one of the few AME churches to allow health and awareness around HIV and AIDS out of the actual church, which is something that is considered taboo in the Black community. Greater Bethel was where I was able to house most of my research while in FIU. And I just want to say that supporting PH 5 and 7 is very important, 6 and 7 is very important, because all of it helps to secure the community and what's best. Also like to add that Ken Russell, outside of the suit that you all see him, you may not know this, but he and I both were at the port of Miami during the Bohemians that were trying to get here. And he didn't have on that commissioner shirt. And both he and I were out there picking up families. And I remember watching him, and I reproached him, and I said, "You're out here too?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm trying to help as many as I can." It's people like that, when you take the shirt off, that matters to me. And so that's why I continue to support things that you bring up that deal with Coconut Grove and help Coconut Grove. Continue to walk in that faith, and I promise you, you will always have the support of a good community. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else here that would like to speak on PH 6 or 7?
Okay.
PH 6 or 7? Anyone else here, please?
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you so
Good
much.
morning.
I want to thank you for this opportunity to speak. We have kind of coupled ourselves with the Thelma Gibson Health Initiative on a number of issues to address in our community. A part of their 28 units is a building that we were able to transfer to them through a sale. And so we have an additional 10 units that are on PH 7, and we're asking for your unanimous support of this as well, so that we can continue to bring housing to the community that needs it, as we have in the past. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Chair, if I could just have the speaker's name.
Yes, Reverend Nathaniel Robinson III, the pastor of Greater St. Paul AME Church, 3680 Thomas Avenue.
Is there anyone else here that would like to speak on PH 6 or 7?
Randall Martin.
Seeing none?
Randall Martin.
No, I'm here.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't hear you say yes.
I don't know how to get your attention.
I didn't know you said
Listen,
yes.
I'm Reynold Martin, here to speak on PH 6 and 7. I'm from Coconut Grove. I'm a Grovite for life. I'm president of the CAC, which is a county's entity.
and the Vice President of the Homeowners and Tenants Association of Coconut Grove. And I want to say to you guys that these projects have overwhelming support in our community. We need it, and we thank you for your effort to help us restore a great community. I hope this is not the last, but a beginning of something great in this community. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Raines, you've already had your 2
I
minutes.
just wanted to express my support for these two items. I'm a Coconut Grove business owner and have known the Thelma Gibson Health Initiative for many, many years, all of its executives, as well as the St. Paul AME Church, who has also been in the community forever, and we have been a supporter of as a business, and so we do support these items,
Thank you.
PH 7 and 8.
Thank you.
Madam Chair?
Are you here for, let me make sure PH 6 and 7? Okay, so we can take the vote for PH 7 now?
I want to include also that I want to co-sponsor
Thank you, sir.
with Commissioner Russell these two items.
So
Move that.
Move it, second.
PH 6 and 7?
We already voted on PH 6, that's passed.
That's right.
Yeah, we did that already. PH 7, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Sure.
Ms. Williams?
I'm Terry Williams. I'm president and owner of One United Bank, 3275 Northwest 79th Street, and over 50% of our employees are actually residents of the city of Miami. I don't think my name is actually on the agenda for today, so I was actually surprised to hear it. But I'm here to follow the rules and speak about RE 12. I'm here to bring to light that there's been, or there will be, $950,000 in funds that are being provided to other communities, I think probably for good reasons. Yet the Virginia Key Beach Trust was questioned about its $600,000 budget, and the trust was disbanded. I would like to continue to advocate for the Virginia Key Beach Trust, and I also want to
Please stay on the item that you are here to support. We are not speaking about Virginia Key today. And as I said earlier, because you are a very well-respected member of the community, you are the president of the only black bank in Miami. If you feel so passionately, please meet with us and share some of the wealth from the bank so we could get the project moving and have the museum on Virginia Key. So if you'd like to continue to speak on that item for the trees, you're welcome. If you're going to slide over to Virginia Key, please step aside.
Hello? Okay, go ahead. So I just want to finish because I am speaking on the item of RE 12, and I want to talk about the importance of supporting communities. Yes, One United Bank is the largest black-owned bank, and representation matters. So this particular item is being represented well. Our community is not. And that's what I'm here to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Look, the $950,000 that's in RE 12, first of all, I want to be clear. It's not even going to the district that I represent. It's going to District 2. However, these two parks, Bayfront Park and Maurice Ferre Park, are the two central parks for every Miami resident from every district. This is like New York Central Park. Furthermore, these funds are not coming from the general fund, from taxes that we derive from many of our properties. These funds are either for people that had to mitigate on tree planting or fines that they received for cutting trees without permit, et cetera, and can only be used for buying trees, landscaping, et cetera. So I appreciate what some are trying to do, but you're not comparing apples to apples, oranges to oranges. This has nothing to do with any of the other issues that some are trying to mix into this.
Good morning, Ms. Taylor.
Good morning. My name is Carol Ann Taylor. I reside at 1717 North Bay Shore Drive, Miami. I'm here to speak on RE 12 as a former board member of the Bayfront Park Trust and as a former special assistant to Mayor Maurice Ferre. I am here to speak about the funding that is being dispersed for Bayfront Park. And I must compare it to what is happening to the Black people of Miami and Virginia Key Beach. I must say that. I have stood in front of this board for many times. I've also sat behind the board. I understand that things have to be done in certain ways. I ask that you would please, when you consider the downtown parks, consider what is happening and how we are being treated as Black Americans in this city as a result of what's happening in Virginia Key. Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Good morning, Theophilus Williams, 1391 Northwest 95th Street. And I see is that I keep saying that we being left out on funding, but when I'm listening to everybody to the left, their committee getting what they want and our committee can't. If the mayor gonna make a promise to this community about giving them $1 million, but when I look at the TV, and after y'all voted 4-1, y'all gave Camilla House $2 million, so now y'all giving us the crumbs of $250,000. That's not right. So if we're gonna do it that way, then just let's treat everybody fairly. Don't come and get one ain't better than the other. If you're gonna give one $2 million, then give the other one some. We deserve it. This community deserves what they want. And we, like I said, we being left out. So the problem is right now, the mayor should have been here. He lead this city. He should be here explaining it to us. It's a broken communication. And if you're a lawyer, you should be loyal to the Black community. And your vote, what you said, tell him to stand by his word.
Good morning.
Good morning, Chairwoman and Commissioners. I'm Christopher Boykin, the Executive Director of Pelican Harbor Seabird Station, located at 1279 Northeast 79th Street Causeway. Thank you so much for approving our covenant release for our new property last month. I'm here asking for your support of P&Z items 7 and 8 today for our new property at 399 Northeast 82nd Terrace. Pelican Harbor Seabird Station is Miami's native wildlife hospital. We treated more than 39,000 patients, from small hummingbirds to bald eagles to over 9,000 brown pelicans and 500 screech owls like Mowgli, the screech owl that you met the last 2 months. We've outgrown our current home that was created for one species 40 years ago, and we need to expand. And so we're asking for your support of this rezoning of our 2.6-acre property. If approved, our new operations will allow us to provide a state-of-the-art wildlife hospital, a nature center for the community and the public, a nature park, and a manatee viewing location open every day of the year from 9 to 5 free of charge. It'll be a tremendous asset to our magic city of Miami and to the wildlife that we treat. Thank you so much for your support and consideration.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, all is well. It's great to see the community come out, but unfortunately the item is not allowed. I'm here to request that you just listen to as much as possible, particularly because the large amount of public housing funds in the budget. not having the ability to speak as a citizen or a taxpayer on the expenditure because the general rules and the general pattern and trend of expending public housing funds, particularly in black communities or communities of color with poor, decent, disabled folks, is to not have that discussion at final about how much it is. If some of us are geeks, we keep up with the numbers. I follow the money. So we have public items here 1 through 7, and I don't know exactly what was the competitiveness requirement, because I came up in an age where public housing monies were there for those who were the sick and the poor and the elderly and disabled. And through Madam Chair, to the attorney, the question lies to me as a person who's more qualified and a taxpayer more qualified. I need that money. And I need the pattern and trend to change of how we expenditure black monies and black economic dollars in black communities, because that pattern and trend talks about unfairness. And this is not a legal place, but we want to be fair. So if I saw fairness through Madam Chair, is it fair to say that we are expending public housing, senior elders monies to specific groups without competitiveness, without sunshine, without going according to the complying? See, once I know where 12 million went that was recovered from public housing monies and given, then I will trust anybody and everybody that tells the truth. So I'm asking you, please, and particularly as those members who have those district commissions to have them, because I don't threaten legality. That's why I asked you to the attorney, where do we find the recovered monies in the budget, and where do we find the competitive compliance within PH1 and PH6? I beg you to check, because nobody wants to do legal work. Maybe if I had your salary, I would, but when I grow up, thank you so kindly.
Thank you. Good morning.
Well, good morning. Luis Revuelta, I'm an architect, 2950 Southwest 27th Avenue. I'm here to speak in favor of item PZ9. 12 years ago, our firm was invited along with another 4 or 5 firms to work on the development of Miami 21. There were things that we were concerned about, and we were told that there were tweaks that had to happen. I think finally that has come to fruition, at least some of them, thanks to the planning department. I'm in favor of the way of measuring the building length and square footage. It goes right in line with the way you measure right now floor-lot ratio. And I would like to request also that careful attention is paid to the mezzanine on the upper level that will not exceed the absolute building height in feet, but it would allow for the same sequence and rhythm that the buildings have according to Miami 21 of 14 feet, 14 feet, 14 feet, that the mezzanine is also 14 feet, so instead of 25 feet, we would like to request that that measurement is changed for 3 feet to 28 feet. So I think there were other issues that were requested by Commissioner Reyes, and we are also in favor of that. Thank you, and have a good day.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to everyone who's here today. My name is Brandon Jones, 2242 Northwest 93rd Terrace, and I stand with the Circle of Brotherhood in our community, as I have been an eyewitness of watching an organization take a dead man and woman and bring them back from the grave. And so I stand with all those who support the $1 million that was given to the Circle of Brotherhood, that if the work is going to continue, that they need these funds. And so I thank you all for your support. I would also like to offer this suggestion to all those who are any leadership capacity, to clergy, to my fellow citizens of this great city, that we learn how to stand for what is right, regardless of who's committing wrong. I'd like to say, Madam Chair, I thank you for your leadership. I also recognize that if we are going to make rules for any individual, that all of us are capable to keep the same rules that we make for ourselves. And so I acknowledge that as we have been taught today not to cheer, when there are certain items, cheer is allowed. I've also noticed that there are certain items that we have been allowed not to speak on. But if we're going to make that plea for one person, no matter who's committing the wrong or what seat we're sitting in, we must lead by examples as leaders. And so I thank you for listening to that, and I hope that we continue to do what is right. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, commissioners. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi. So I'm here to talk with you about the removal of the noise ordinance, future legislation FR4 12215. Two of my neighbors have been here a little bit earlier. You've heard from them. I would like to read an email that my husband sent out to all of you and to Major Suarez back in September, okay? I know you've heard this a million times, but there is a point here to be made. So, as residents of the Venetian Causeway, we have been directly impacted by tenants of the city repeatedly abusing the noise ordinance exemptions, namely Joya Beach and The Deck, both located on Watson Island. For the last 2 years, we've made numerous calls to report the issue to 911, to our neighbor's police officer, to Commissioner Russell's office. We sent emails, including videos and sound recordings, to show how the noise affects us directly. There is no reason for venues that lease land from the city to be governed by different rules than everyone else. Moreover, such businesses should not base their business model against the primary interest of the public they lease the land from. For businesses operating under these conditions, it's a tremendous competitive disadvantage. To operate under these exemptions over those that need to operate under stricter and enforceable rules that are designed to limit noise pollution and allow residents to sleep at night. So I'm here to please ask of you to take this into consideration. It's not just our quality of life, but it's a very unjust way of conducting business, that this city lease land get a different treatment than others that where noise can be enforced.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Andrea Pratt.
Ma'am, can you pull the speaker close?
Good morning. My name is Andrea Pratt. I am the second eldest granddaughter from Margaret Jane Thompson Mackey, who owned the Seafood Cafe. Thank you. One of the first Bahamian restaurants located at 4th Avenue and 17th Street, located in Overtown. My grandmother cooked fantastic Bahamian dishes that was enjoyed by Bahamians, Americans, and tourists. My grandmother was a God-fearing woman who taught her family to treat people with dignity and respect. She also taught her children and grandchildren business sense in dealing with the public. I want to thank Mayor Francis Suarez of Miami and all of the commissioners for supporting the loyal decision to name 4th Avenue after a woman who served and helped people in her community. May God also bless your decision for her 41 years in business. My grandmother's motto was, "You tried the rest, now try the best." Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Iris Escar with offices at 333 Southeast 2nd Avenue. I'm here to speak on behalf of PZ9. PZ9 is a series of text changes to Miami 21 that we've been working on for almost 2 years now with different little fixes and so forth that we've been working with staff, and we're very happy to actually finally make it to City Commission. There's two minor text changes that I would like the City Commission to consider, and I'm going to pass them out. One is, as the distinguished Mr. Luis Revuelta, the architect, mentioned, is that the top level of a building, to be able to have double height, however not exceed the permissible maximum height, it still has to stay within the same height, to also include T5, and that those two levels be permitted 28 instead of 25 feet. So I'm going to pass that around so that you guys have it in text, but those are the only two minor text amendments. Just want to let you know, thank you very much for your consideration of these text amendments. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Antoinette C. Miller. I'm the granddaughter of Margaret Jane Thompson Mackey. It is my great privilege to honor my late grandmother, who gave so much to the Overtown community. Her restaurant, the Seafood Cafe, was located at 401 Northwest 17th Street and 4th Avenue. This restaurant became a well-known gathering place in the community. People came from near and far for 41 years to enjoy the delicious food, which was always prepared with generous servings of love, caring, and hospitalities. Margaret's spirit truly guided her to nourish both body and spirit. I would like to thank Mayor Francis X. Suarez and all of the commissioners for supporting this well-deserved honorary street naming. In addition, I would like to thank the following individuals for their invaluable encouragement and support. Dr. Enid C. Pinckney, Chairman of the Curtis Foundation, Dr. Barbara Carey Schuler, former Commissioner of Miami-Dade County, and Dr. Dorothy Jenkins Fields, historian and founder of the Black Archives History and Research Foundation of South Florida. In closing, I would like to thank all of you who are here today in honor of my grandmother, who truly added to the legacy of the Overtown community. Thank you very much for your decision.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. I brought a few people so they can donate my minutes because I have a big problem with my property, and I want them to stand up so you could see many of them have not even been allowed in the building. Pueden levantarse las personas que vinieron a apoyarme que están adentro.
Ma'am, what district are you in?
District 1. And I'm here to talk about FR2, the co-relief amended ordinance proposed by Mr. Diaz de la Portilla. The city of Miami is over 125 years old and has buildings which has been built pursuant to several building zoning codes throughout all these many years, which even the building zone codes and setback variance protocols followed by the building officials are not very clear. Owning a home has long been considered the ultimate aspiration and the American dreams for many people that have come, like immigrants like me, and many people that have been born in here. The problem with my specific property is that my property was built in 1938, had an addition done in 1982. It's not very clear how there are many properties in the city that don't meet the forever 5 feet setback on each side. So I met with the city manager, I'm sorry, not with the city manager, I met with the building official, Mr. Mr. Ace Marrero, and Mr. Daniel Gilbert. A few times I went with my commissioner, with Carla, the chief of staff, and it's not being clear how, if the setback for all the buildings in Miami has been 5 feet on the sides, how come there are many buildings that doesn't meet that?
Okay, hold on. If I can get Director Hull, could you address her and her issue? Because she has a lot of folk to, but I think she needs to speak to someone from the staff more so than to tell us, because they can give you a better handle on what is expected, what you need to do, versus speaking to our body.
I have been advised that the Miami 21 and the current code relief doesn't support the legalization of properties like mine.
She'll speak to you about that. Thank you. She'll speak to you about that.
Oh, you want me to go over there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Dakira Smokes, and I'm 16 years old. And I know you guys don't want us to speak on behalf of Virginia Key Beach, but that's the only beach that Black people could go to, and the only Black beach that Black people known of. And I hope you guys do right by the Black beach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good
My
morning.
name is Essence Charles, and I'm 15. And I just wanted to ask that, how are you able to talk about Virginia Key Beach, but we're not able to? Thank you.
Thank you. I believe that this concludes the public comment period for this meeting. Thank you all for coming.
Chair, 1 second.
Oh, someone told me that it was clear out. Yeah, it's clear. So that concludes the public comment period for our meeting. We're going to move right into our consent agenda.
So moved.
Do I have a motion to move CA 1, 2, and 3?
Russell.
Second.
Reyes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Consent agenda passes.
Thelma wanted.
Bye, big man.
Okay.
Didn't even have to say anything. Yep. Mhm. He's been a great guy. He's a good guy, good government guy.
Pero are we ready?
Yes.
We're ready. Let's go with the PH items. Do I have a motion to move PH
Second.
1 through 7?
I move it.
Chair?
Well, actually,
I'll
6 and
I'll
7
second it,
have
I'm sorry,
already
I'll
been
second it.
passed. Okay, so I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Wait.
PH 5, I know there is,
We're going to defer that.
yes, I would like to
Is there
defer
a
that.
motion to defer PH
Because
5?
I would like for the Circle of Brotherhood to clarify this amount that it was going to be, that was
Okay.
promised to them. I will move
Okay.
to defer PH 5.
Okay, so we'll defer PH 5 indefinitely.
That's right.
Okay. A motion and a second.
I have Commissioner Diaz-Garcia moving it. I do not have a
I
second.
second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. So now we have PH 1, 2, 3, and 4
So
in
moved.
play. Motion?
Move it.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Our PH items have passed. Resolutions.
Madam Chair, did we do the consent agenda?
Yes.
Yes,
We did it? Okay. All right,
Mhm.
missed it.
You did the consent. Where were you? I was too, I missed it.
Do I have a motion to pass
I'll move it.
RE
1,
1?
2,
No, that's been deferred. RE 1?
Three.
RE 3? RE 4?
no, I'm going to move to defer RE 4.
Wait, is there a motion to defer RE 4?
Move it.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
RE 4 is deferred
There's a
until
motion
when?
to pass RE 1.
When is
When
RE4
is
deferred to?
November 17th.
November 17th.
I have a motion to pass RE 1,
3
3, and 5.
and 5.
5 needs to be heard by itself. It's a mitigation.
It's a mitigation.
I'm sorry, so it's
Yes.
6. So it's 6.
So,
So I want to move RE 7, 2, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And let's take up RE 5.
So, just for clarity, the only items you did not pass on that were the 2 mitigation items, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Like RE 5 and 6?
Got it.
Yeah. And we deferred RE 4.
Okay, with RE 5,
Good morning, members of the commission. Rachel Doley on behalf of the City Attorney's Office.
good morning.
Good morning, Marcy Resnick on behalf of the owner of the property at 7301 Belmead.
As discussed prior and also in the resolution that you've received, 7301 Belmead Island Drive filed an appeal of a order from the Code Enforcement Board. And based upon that, they've come back here for a litigation settlement. The property is a repeat violation property for a previous short-term rental violation. This was the second one. In this particular case, the property was cited on March 28th of 2021. It was not complied until September of 2022. And just as had been discussed, the property was removed from the online rental sites as of June 1st, 2022, but the code compliance, due to the repeat nature of the case, did not comply until sufficient time had passed and there were no parties and other things being seen by the neighbors who were greatly disturbed by it. In that case, that required the total per diem lien, which was running at $500 per day, to run to $270,000 per day. And that's for a September 2nd, 2022 completion. If you took it back to June 1st, when it was removed from the sites, that would take it to about $229,000. So there's about a $50,000 difference. I just wanted to make you aware of that. In this particular case, the Code Board also enforced a $5,000 irreparable harm fine, as they are allowed to do pursuant to our code and Florida statute. And that was done as well. Again, both of those were on appeal. They're here today to ask for mitigation. Originally, they were at, I believe, $10,000 plus another $5,000. They've come up to, as I sent yesterday to each individually, $22,500. Their counsel is here. There were 3 pending violations. Initially, they'd been charged with also a work without a permit, but that matter actually had been handled on another case, so that was complied very quickly, within 30 days of it initially being opened, because they did take care of that work without a permit under a building case matter and a different code matter that we're running together. So I leave it to you at this point.
I'd like to say this property is in my district, and I've done quite a bit of research on it, and I would like a motion to uphold the full value.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Thank you. I was going to suggest
Yes.
that this property is currently for sale for $14.9 million.
That's right.
Look, if it's one thing when you have individuals that aren't sophisticated in the system, they're elderly, sometimes there are language barriers, they have small homes. These people here, they're sophisticated. And we either are going to put a bite into this ordinance that we have to make people stop abusing the system, the process, and harming their neighbors, the life, health, and safety of their neighbors, or we'll let it be where nobody pays anything, and this will become the Wild Wild West. So I fully support what you're doing, because this is very, very different than some of the others that, a few that we've had so far that we've seen.
And I do respect that, what the board is saying. I don't know, it is a quasi-judicial proceeding, and so I know council's present. I don't know if you'd like to allow her to.
We have you here.
Yes, I would like to
quickly
allow
make
her,
her-
but
yeah,
there
her
is a
statement.
motion and a second on the floor. Ma'am, you may go ahead and speak.
And I was asked to restate my name again. My name is Marcy Resnick, and as I said, I represent the owners of 7301 Belmead. As one thing that council did not point out to you is that we were here well over a year ago on a similar issue, but unfortunately, the way at that time I think it was the code board had issued the fines was done incorrectly, so there was no way for us to take a proper appeal, and we've been working with Ms. Dooley, who has been very diligent with us and has been a pleasure to work with. We have been working to get this into a proper fashion so we could appear before you today. We were in compliance long before June 1st. That is just a line of demarcation that Ms. Dooley and I basically agreed to, where there were no more complaints. What started the problems, in all honesty, with this property was parties that were going on during COVID. That has long since ceased. That is no longer an issue, and they were never cited for that as part of this. This is all about the short-term rentals. We have provided an affidavit showing that we have been off at least since June 1st. The problem with these companies like Airbnb and VRBO is that they don't have the ability to help you prove a negative. In other words, they can't show you when you are no longer there. They can only show you when you were there. And we were comfortable saying June 1st, and I think Ms. Dooley accepted that representation. Ms. Dooley can tell you we have been working with her on a near daily basis. Even on weekends, we've been in touch trying to get this resolved. We are here, and I would ask you, if you are not inclined to accept the resolution at the reduced amount that we have proposed, that this be deferred so I have an opportunity to continue to speak either with you, Madam Chairwoman, through Ms. Dooley, and see if we can come up with a resolution that everyone can live with.
Madam Chair, would you be willing to continue it so that you can discuss it with council, or?
Madam Chair,
I would
we have a motion and a second.
I understand, but I have not, in fairness, I have not spoken to her. I have spoken to the residents of Belmead Island, and they're very clear, and the spirit of the legislation is for, in fact, the motion that I made. And
Madam
that is where I
Chair,
stand.
I'm sorry, you're giving a Jennings disclosure with regard to speaking with residents of
Yes.
of Belmead?
Yes. Jennings disclosure, that I did speak with the residents of Belmead Island. Jennings disclosure. So there's a motion on the floor. I have a second. I would ask my colleagues if I can defer it one meeting. Commissioner Russell?
So I'll withdraw, did I make the motion or did Commissioner Reyes?
I did.
Oh, I thought-
It
well,
did make the motion.
I'll withdraw my second of the motion then.
Madam Chair, I believe that offering, like it is said here, such a small amount, owing so much, I mean, it doesn't make sense for a property, as Commissioner Carollo stated, that is worth $15 million.
I understand.
You see,
but
Anna, so you want to defer it? It is your call?
Just to hear them,
Okay.
but you know what my position is.
But
Just to
for
hear
the
them.
record,
Until November 17th, correct?
November 17th, one meeting.
So I'll withdraw my second of the initial
Yes,
motion.
I've never seen her before.
Right, this is the first time we've been before you on this issue, so.
Okay.
I would
Fair
like
is
to-
fair, fair is fair.
Fair is fair. Commissioner
right.
Russell?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm happy to withdraw the motion and support the deferral, but I just want to make a statement. Under a previous manager and a previous mayor, we took up the issue of short-term rentals, especially with Airbnb and VRBO.
That's right. We don't want that.
Although I'm in support, under the right circumstances, of allowing it even within T3R under the right regulations, I was outvoted at the time, I'm very much in favor of supporting the regulations that stop the abuse of the neighborhoods within these. If we can work with the industry, we can get what we need. Because it does allow, in some cases, for people to supplement their income for their property. It does allow, in some cases, for an inexpensive place for people to stay when they visit us. But the abuse is rampant. And so I'm in
agree.
support of you on this issue, but I'll make the motion on the deferral. 1 month?
Yes. All in favor?
Aye.
And the next item is RE6.
Madam Chairwoman, I'd like to reconsider PZ6. I had conversations, Jenny's disclosure here, Madam Attorney. I had conversations over the last few minutes on PZ6. I want to reconsider it and bring it back. The neighbors and the developer are now in agreement.
So
Now
what
you're hearing it
happened
now. I can't tell you because we have sunshine law.
No, but what do you want to do with PC?
I want to bring it back up and vote it out. The
Vote.
neighbors,
Okay, we haven't
the
got-
neighbors,
I have to hear from my office because that's
We
what they
haven't
want to
gotten to the
discuss.
PC
yeah,
items
they were in
yet.
my office, and that's why I'm doing Jenny's disclosure. And
We haven't gone to PZ
We
yet.
haven't gotten to PC yet. We're still on.
yeah,
the-
but we had deferred this.
Yeah, but it was a deferred
Oh, it was
item.
deferred?
It wasn't
I
deferred.
want to
You want to bring it back? I move it.
The
You want
deferral,
it?
yeah, the
Okay.
deferral.
I
Back
move
on
it.
the agenda.
To put it back on the agenda, yeah, sorry, I
Okay.
misspoke.
So let's go back to our RE items.
Chair, there is a motion by Commissioner Diaz-Portillo to reconsider.
Yes. All in favor?
Is there a second?
Second.
I move it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so that item is back on. So we're back with the RE6 is another mitigation.
Do you have a Jennings disclosure for this one, Madam Chair?
No, I do not. I do? Yes, I do. Okay.
Yes, you do. You always answer yes to that.
Oh, okay. Yes, I do then.
Yeah, it was a couple of weeks
Just
ago,
in
so
case.
it's been a long few weeks.
Yes,
Again,
it
Rachel
has.
Lee, on behalf of the City Attorney's Office, this is for property address 620 Northeast 78th Street.
Madam Chair, Commission, my name is Lauren Granoff, counsel for East Coast Investments.
Right. We were here 2 weeks ago at the last commission meeting. They had come forward. It was deferred based upon what was offered. This was the Fisheries Restaurant property that had spent, it took up them about 7 years. They finally got their construction completed. We first came in at, I think, $20-something thousand. And I know they did have a chance to meet with the district commissioner and agreed to an amount of $51,205, which is 10% of the amount. They are not a repeat violating property. It has been fixed and everything is moving forward. I know that code compliance felt it was also reasonable, as did my office for this particular issue.
So I wanted
Yes.
to.
Go ahead.
I wanted to clarify for the record, the chair did not meet with the individual, Mr. Granoff. So I just wanted to clarify that for the record. It
Right,
was-
so I didn't
Oh, I
need
thought
to
it
make
met with you,
Right, no,
just
no, no, I
my
didn't need to
mistake.
make a you know, I'll say it if you say it, but I didn't meet with them. Well, I'd like to make a motion to accept the city's recommendation for the settlement.
Second.
Who's the mover?
Me.
I'll move it.
Oh, I
You-
can't
you
make
can't
a
move it,
motion.
you're the chair.
I'm sorry.
I'll move it. Commissioner Reyes moves it, I will second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And that's as is.
As
That's
is.
it.
That,
Thank you all.
I'm sorry, the item on the agenda says a different number. So
Right,
what
it
is
should be
the
amended
amount?
to 50, if it's not, it would be amended to $51,205.
Stipulated.
I'll move it
That's correct.
as
Stipulated.
amended.
So as amended.
so let's take up our SR
Thank you.
second reading items. Madam City Attorney, do you need to read any of these titles into the record before we vote?
Yes, I just need to.
It's SR1, SR2,
And 4.
and 4.
So SR1, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission with attachments codifying and supplementing the Affordable Housing Trust Fund as it was previously established by Resolution 070203 by amending Chapter 18 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, titled Finance, more particularly by establishing a new Article 13 of the City Code titled Affordable Housing Trust Fund containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. SR2, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 36 Section 36-4 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, is amended titled Noise Operation of Radios, Phonographs, and Other Sound-Making Devices, Bands, Orchestras, and Musicians generally, an exception, and Chapter 36, Section 36-5 of the City Code titled Noise, Same Hours of Operation, Jukeboxes, Radios, etc., exemption for events on city-owned property, relaxation to only exempt city-sponsored events at city facilities or properties containing a severability clause and providing for an immediate effective date. Is that
That's all of them?
it for the second reading?
Yes,
That's it?
SR1, 2,
Oh.
and 4.
Okay.
Did you read the title in the record for SR4?
You haven't read 4.
I have not read 4, thank you. An ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 23, Article 1 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, is amended titled Historic Preservation, providing for further penalties and enforcement options for property owners that allow historically designated structures to decay to the point of requiring demolition, containing a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Do I have a motion?
Madam Chair. Before that, can I get some clarity on SR4?
SR4 is sponsored by me.
I know.
It's
I want clarity.
It's for unsafe structures where property owners buy up these properties and then they don't do anything to them in the historic district so that they can get it demolished, demolition by neglect. The purpose is so that they can go and build something that is not specific to our community. So now these bad actors will, if your property is demolished by neglect, demolition by neglect, you will have to build what was there. You don't get to come in and now build a skyscraper for the space. No.
Are there any specific,
It's only in the historic district.
only what?
In the
Historic district?
historic district.
Any specific, are there any unintended consequences to this?
No, no. There are no unintended consequences because in the historic district, it has been designated historic, and the properties have to remain the way they are. It's not fair for someone to come and buy a property and then through neglect, have it become an unsafe structure, demolish it, and then request to build something that is not unique to the neighborhood.
But is that a solution looking for a problem? Is there
No.
a specific example of something that's happened that you could cite so that I know?
Well, staff can come and tell you better, but yes, because this has been a huge problem, and while I was campaigning, the residents would bring this to my attention, because you have this little quaint home, and then someone buys a property, they don't do anything with it, the property is demolished, and they want to build a 5-story home, but not in the historic area.
Are there any exemptions if they want to just build something different there to what you're proposing? Is there any, if they want to build another same-sized property, same-sized building?
No, but if they're building the same size property, there's no problem.
There's no problem?
No, if they're building the same size property, there's no problem. It's when you want to come in and do something that is outside of what our community looks like. And staff
So
can,
you're zoning, in essence, you are zoning by decree? right?
No,
These
we are addressing folks who do not take care of their property.
Which folks? What
The
happened?
property owners.
But what happened that prompted you to propose this?
This, because there were several actors in this historic neighborhood that are buying up properties and leaving them unattended. They fall apart, become unsafe structures for the purpose of having them knocked down by the city on the city's dime, and then they go and create something that is not within the neighborhood's uniqueness.
I'm going to trust your judgment on this one. I'm a little bit concerned that it may have unintended consequences for people that want to develop areas and maybe bring more jobs and more housing and things of that nature. So I'm a little bit concerned about the law of unintended consequences. But I'm going to buy your argument for now. You just remember that I told you.
Okay.
I'm voting yes.
Okay. All in favor?
Just a moment, is it one item, the one item?
It's just the one item.
The whole thing.
Well, no, the whole thing. All
Chair, is there a mover and seconder for?
There was.
I'll move it.
Could we take noise separate?
And I
for
second.
SR2 separate for discussion, please?
That's right.
No, I haven't voted.
No, let's just vote on it.
I haven't voted. I have issues on SR2, so I'd like to take it separately, please.
Okay, so we're going to take SR 1 and
four.
4. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. SR 2, Commissioner Russell?
Thank you. I've been working on this forever, and I'm trying to get it done, but I don't want to write careless policy. This is about protecting the quality of life for the neighbors, but not punishing good, healthy business that has not been violating the code and actually disincentivizing investment. So I'm almost there. I've gotten a lot of feedback today just asking for one more deferral to get it right. And so rather than just doing a blanket full across the board, if the board is open, we'll bring it back in just a couple more weeks with a cleaned up version that gets it right, I hope. And if not, I'll do my best.
Commissioner Russell, I can tell you that I get emails every day about this noise ordinance and the neighbors, how they can't sleep.
For our properties.
So, you're the commissioner of this area. It's, your district, but I can tell you, I don't know about my colleagues, but the residents are so.
It's time to vote. Look, we can't have a different type of law for city properties. We're the biggest landowner in the city of Miami. It's not fair that every other business in the city has to abide by our ordinance except business that fall and rent from us as landlords. And because of that, you have some that have been abusing the heck out of that ordinance, making life miserable for many residents. There are some, like the ones that I think you're trying to step in the front for, that I think have been pretty good neighbors in this Bayfront, in Bayfront, Bayside.
Yeah.
Bayside has. I don't foresee any problems with this in the future with Bayside. I really don't. So we need to move on with this. No more deferrals, up or down, whatever it is. But, it's either everyone's in or no one's in. So I make a motion that we approve this item.
I'm going to second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That takes care of our second readings. Okay, it's
And I have that
noon.
as unanimous.
It was unanimous.
Yes.
Guys, it's noon. Do we want to take a break
We
and
wanna
come
take a
back?
break.
I need
Get
to.
this done.
I need to.
You need to?
No, we're going to
I gotta
take,
work.
take a break, and so do I.
I got to go work.
Okay, so we're
Yeah.
going to be in
He's
recess.
going to the farm.
We're going to be in recess until 2:30.
Okay, and I have food in my office, by the way. if you
Three?
want. 3 o'clock is better, yeah.
Yeah, I got
He's going to Homestead.
container full of shrubbery and stuff at Foray Park, so I got to deal
Gonna
with
go
that.
plant some trees.
So we'll take a break.
It's
But
gonna-
but we're going to
maybe
move
I'll go with
the
him.
agenda
Maybe I'll
when we
go-
come back at 3.
3, yes.
And Chair, did you want to start with the Southeast Overton Park West meeting at 3 before we begin?
Yes,
Or
we'll
resume?
take up the.
3 and then the other one at
and then
3:15.
You have a CRA meeting as well? Yes. Meeting adjourned, in recess.